I like the music. It's like the first one has like a Game of Thrones sound to it, doesn't it? Well, ahoy, crypto pirates. Welcome to the Hexagon's DeFi Syndicate. This is your stream for getting your DeFi news and study on. Look at Brasology says he's here to learn. Good. Well, I'm going to teach you something, young man, with your short jokes. First of all, I want to say hello and appreciate everyone. DGen Dougie, what's up? Great name. Treese Von Paris. Nice. Melf Tony, always good to have you, my brother. What are we at right now? 3.3. Did we crack that 3-cent mark? We could talk about that a little bit today. Crypto Journeyman. And let's go. Torin, what's up, dude? KD and Brasology. We got a small room here today. Probably because, guys, sorry, the better part of the show, Phamous, is not going to be in. I think he's feeling a little under the weather. He said he might pop in. He was going to set his alarm, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning when he does the show with us. But he's up all the time, so he's, it's not that big a deal for a young man like that. But anyway, couple things. So some housekeeping. What was I going to talk about as far as housekeeping goes? Well, first of all, you Hexagon need to get some damn manners. I know that everybody's testy and everybody's a little butthurt about the time frames that it's been taken to get PulseChain out, and some of you have over leveraged and you're feeling butthurt and you're mad at Richard, and you're mad at the world, and you're mad at everything. But you don't need to be taking it out on each other. And just because people are out there looking at shiny objects or maybe even shilling other stuff that may be suspect, look, go easy on them. You don't need to verbally abuse people. I don't know where all of this stuff came from, man. It's like human beings just don't act like human beings do anymore. I guarantee you that 90% of you won't act in person like you do on your Twitters and in your DMs and all the shit that you guys send out. It's pathetic. It really is. This electronic bravery everybody has. That's what it's called, e-bravery. Just because you sit behind a computer screen and, I don't think you should be saying anything different in your 2D world than you should be in the real regular 3D world. But, who am I? Anyway, so go easy on each other. And especially, here's one thing I don't understand. I was just talking to my buddy Marshall about this. We went and had lunch. He is a communication specialist. He helps companies communicate and make big deals and special stuff. And he helps them communicate with folks when they got to do things. And anyway, we were talking, and I was like, man, what is up with the way we were talking about the little Andrew Tate stuff and whatever, and that kind of crap that's going on. And it's like, what happened to, and I don't even want to call it chivalry. I want to call it respect for women by men. I don't understand where this has come from. And some of these clowns are like blaming it on, well, women want to be equal and this and that and the other. And it's like, dude, in my day, they were running hard on that stuff, and we didn't treat women like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Men have always blown it when it comes to women, but the respect that I am not seeing for women is just kind of like, it's perplexing me. I don't get it. It was like, I was taught, you don't touch a girl, you don't hit a girl, you don't even want to yell at them. If you disagree with them, it's like walk away or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the disrespect towards women thing. So, and especially within our community, like Hexicans disrespecting other Hexicans, and men doing it and saying like tripped out shit to women. It's like, not cool, not cool. But again, who am I? But I think it says more about your character than anything. Because anyway, that's my little rant. Not even really a rant, just something that's been perplexing me lately. I don't understand where this anti-women culture has come from. Just kind of perplexing. Anyway, let me say hello to a couple other people here. We got Vets in Crypto here. Checks my pulse. Like Crypto Pay. Belly the Hexican. Yep. Yes. Be nice to each other, Cryptopians. Be nice to each other. For we are inheriting crypto. Hexicans. It's yours for the taking. Go out there. Yeah, I like that. Small pee-pee syndrome. I don't even know if it's that, man, because, you know, that's always been a problem for guys out there, right? But it's I don't know. It's probably something I'd have to have a dialogue with other people about in order to kind of understand it. But, you know, I don't know. It wasn't how I was raised. I wouldn't say some of the things that some of you guys are saying to people out here, especially ladies. But again, anyway. So some really cool stuff is going on this week. First of all, Hex is pumping to 3.3 or 0.033 and some change cents. It's probably part of the greater market sentiment that we're seeing. If you don't know or you haven't heard, it's all the news. The Fed raised interest rates only 2.25 basis points. So what that means is not the fact that they raised it. The market had adjusted for a 0.50 run up. But they're talking about easing, and they use other terms and stuff that you know, this is easing. They're going in an easing direction, and that it's called some type of it's not deflation, but it's some type of deflation is starting to occur. So they are kind of bullish on the future, meaning that they are changing their direction to maybe only raise rates a couple more times before they completely change gears. So what they were looking for in the markets was a move one way or another, either a strengthening or a weakening of the basis point movements. And this was that move that they wanted to see, that the markets were hoping for. And of course, the crypto markets have surged like 3%, and everything else is surging about the same. So we're seeing a little bit of a comeback here. Now, what does that mean? It means absolutely nothing at this point, because we're still in a world of hurt. The inflation is still running. There are things that are happening out there that are making it harder for day-to-day folks to get by. Prices of things going through the roof, gouging going on, oil companies making more profits than they've ever made, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why, you know, we get a lot of Mercans out there upset and pissed off about spending money on infrastructure and spending money on things that matter, like Social Security and things like that matter to people, to everyday people. May not matter a whole bunch to young folks in crypto, or even people who are entrepreneurs and do their own thing or whatever. But greater general population of the this country here rely on a lot of those things. And I see a lot of complaining about, you know, so-called like entitlements or whatever that's out there. Not that I get any of them, wherever. I've been paying into them all my life in hopes that maybe one day they'll be there as an insurance policy. But I did other things to make sure that I secured my future. I became an entrepreneur. I invested. I did things that made me not have to rely on those things so that they could be there for other people, which is what I want it there for, because I know there are people who are less fortunate than me that need it, deserve it, worked hard their whole lives, and didn't do the things that I did or weren't given the same opportunities that I was given. So more power to them. But we've got oil companies, the most profitable companies on the planet, making record profits, gouging us with gas prices and fuel prices everywhere, equating to a lot of run up in you name it, from the agricultural industry to the meat industry to, fuel, everything. Their run up has caused a lot of harm, and they've made record profits. And guess what? You Americans, your tax dollars actually give those folks subsidies. Yeah. How about going out in the street and yelling and screaming about that, or getting pissed off about that, or getting political about that? No, you won't. You never do. It's just let you go and fight after the people that are fighting for the scraps. It's a funny, funny world, man. You people are funny out there. Instead of looking at the stuff that matters, you look at all the little 10% of differences people have and try and poke at each other about it. And yeah, they can't have that. That's mine. Don't take my tax dollars for that. That's mine. But you guys are looking in the wrong places. What do they call that? Picking up pennies in front of freight trains? Yeah. And also your top corporations, when they sold you a bill of goods, a couple years ago, everybody's favorite president, President Trump, gave everybody, and I don't talk about politics much, but I'm a working guy, so I was waiting for my tax break, but I didn't get one. Only the wealthiest top 1% got about $1.7 trillion in tax cuts. And all along they were saying we were going to get one, and we didn't. We sure as hell didn't. But it was okay for us to spend that money on the wealthiest Americans, which is none of us guys. Sorry, none of us are even 1%ers. Not even the top 100 wallets probably are in the 1%. But anyway, those companies get tax breaks, and the common man does not. But we'll go out and fight each other again for the scraps. But whatever. So in the scheme of things, everything still looks the same. We're still all going to get hosed, especially if you're a middle class person. The economy will eventually come back. We will see a rise in the markets, and we'll even see a rise in this crypto market. Now, that's not saying that this still might not be a bear trap. I mean, a bull trap. I think it's my opinion that we are still staring down the barrel of a bull trap. I think we are. So don't get too excited about this. Now, I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong. But yeah, this could be a big fake out. But again, we shall see. So let's pull up this article and play a little bit and chat about this. So Bitcoin jumps 3% after Powell says, that's the word, disinflation is underway. So with that, I think, was there a video on this one?
Bitcoin jumped.
Oh, it's just audio. It's just reading the whole thing. We don't want to do that. That's fine. So 23,750. You hear that, Briss? You see that? Look at that. 23,650. What I did read was that the predictions were the people that are bearish on this, that are calling this a bull trap. What I did see was they said that Bitcoin goes to 26. Since it hit this 23 stage, if it hits 26, then that's where we'll see the big pump. If not, then we may see, there it is, the 26 region rallying towards the 26. But if it breaches 24, the resistance level, then we could see it go to 26.5. Yep, that's what I read. I think I read that one earlier. Yep. 26.5 and then rally, baby. Well, hopefully if the markets stay strong and we start popping out of this, then maybe we are into the what did he call this again? De-inflation. What was the word again? Disinflation. Yeah, disinflation. Some of these words, man. Okay, so yeah, so we're in disinflation. TA. Hey, let's pull up the hex chart and let's do a little bit of TA here. I don't do TA. I don't do charts, but let's do it and just see. Let's just see what's going on. Do we have a bullish will probably find something for me. I'm sure he will. It's good having a real producer like back behind the scenes. Not anything against the producer, the king. The king does a lot of work. Oh, okay. How much history can we see? Throw it on a daily chart or something. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Our big pump is just right there. There we go. Look at that. Was that all time? Yeah, that was all time highs over there, all the way down to here. And this is what RG3 is always called the R pattern. Hex, when it first launched, the first couple years, it was the R pattern. We'd see it, boom, and then wah, back up. Boom, then wow, back up. If you look at the daily chart from the whole history of Hex from beginning to end, it's full of R's. So we are now pumping through another one, and hopefully this will break out. Let's get us, if we do go into a bull, let's get us up into the like 20, 30 cent range and then drop us back down to like 12 or 15 or something like that. Let's see that. Let's see a big pump and then come back and retrace and let Bitcoin go to 11K and watch the real pain happen. The real pain. Oof, that would be great. Hey, Sandy Beach, how you doing? Welcome, my lady. So yeah, so that's that's charting. I don't have anything to say about those charts. I don't do the Fibonacci's and all that stuff. No. The historical view of it from 30,000 foot is all that I want to see. That's it, because that chart goes from down here all the way up to here. That's what it does. And in between is all your emotional wiggles. All it is emotional wiggles. It's emotions and market sentiment. That's it. That's it. None of that matters. Because if you listen to guys like Warren Buffett, or you listen to guys like my father-in-law, who taught me, because he's a student of that, he said it's always about your time in the market. And this was taught before they were saying that shit in crypto, way before that. And because I tried to get into the stock market, at a time with him and with my father-in-law, and said, hey, how do I get into stocks and this and that? And all I knew was day trading, from the Motley Fool and all this stuff, from back in the 90s and the early 2000s, when we were all starting to trade online and doing the E-Trade stuff and all that. And I want to trade, I thought that's how you did it. And my father-in-law was like, no, you buy the stock and you hold on to it. And I was like, well, that's no fun. It's like not supposed to be fun. Well, how profitable is that? Well, it's not supposed to be ridiculously profitable. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight. I said, well, that's what I'm seeing, because I watched the dot-com boom, watch people become millionaires overnight. And then the stock market was doing the same thing back then. The dot-com stocks were whoa. So I said, well, what are you talking about? What am I supposed to be doing? He's like, well, you buy and you hold these things, and you buy stuff that's got good stocks in them, and you follow the advice of tried and true traders and da 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 da. I'm like, okay. And then of course I learned about Berkshire Hathaway and spiders and all of these other things for investments. And what he showed me, though, that that made me understand the whole thing. And it really clicked when Richard was talking about crypto, and it's, and they said it's not, timing the market. It's about time in the market. And they showed me that the S&P 500 started here and it ended up here. And in between, there was emotional wiggles where people made lots of money and lost lots of money doing this shit. So do you want to be one of those folks? Or do you want to be somebody who held and got the full benefit of it from here to here? And that was the concept of HEX. And I understood that because that's how I was taught to invest. This day trading stuff, I got into it a little bit when I got into crypto, like everybody did, because that's basically all it was. There wasn't anything worth holding other than Bitcoin. And boy, that was boring. But should have done it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. And, but educated myself enough, learned enough in the space, learned enough about macroeconomics and what was going on out there to know that what we are involved in here is the biggest transfer of wealth that the globe is ever going to see. We're already in the fastest moving tech that's ever existed. Like crypto is growing at like 120%, 110 to 114%. Sorry. And the fastest adoption of something before that, the fastest growing before that was the internet. The internet, guys, grew at like 64%. 64%. The internet grew. And that was like, if you were in the internet, if you were in Google in the beginning, oh boy. And Google wasn't even the first, just like Hex wasn't the first. Like Google wasn't first, like pets.com was the first. And we all know where that went, right? So like Bitcoin was the first. But then you got something like Hex that comes out that's really, really got market fit, that really has a product that everybody needs, wants. The whole world needs a staking coin. The whole world needs this. The whole world needs a good inflation. Hex provides all that. It provides all that. And we got in the beginning. Like, just like getting into Google. Like, not employee number one, but like you're invested in employees numbers 1 through 100. You're invested in those people. You're invested in what Richard has brought to the table. Man, oh man, oh man. How exciting is that? How exciting is that? So anyway, we are at the precipice of greatness in the crypto space. And I want everybody to understand this right here and right now. Hex is still the GOAT. I'll say it again. Hex is still the GOAT. And all the other shiny objects, Hex related included, aren't jack shit. PulseChain was made for Hex and Hexicans. Period. End of story. It wasn't made for crypto adoption. It wasn't made to make you rich by sacrificing and getting involved early. It wasn't invented for any other reason. It wasn't invented for the other coins. It wasn't invented for other projects to come on. It wasn't. It provides that opportunity. It was made for one reason and one reason only. If you remember from the beginning, what Richard was saying is we need a solution to a problem. Ethereum sucks. Ethereum sucks gas. Ethereum came at us hard when they doubled up on the processing payouts, and I forget what they call that. They upped the fees on what it cost to process it. I don't know if some of you know, but Ethereum doesn't just charge you to move your crypto back and forth. The S load, thank you, Dorsey. So the S load got way more expensive, and the S load is what does all the calculations. So when your hex stake comes out, it's got to be calculated. So we got to calculate all the years and all the interest, all the days that went by. And like today you got 6.3, I think 6.3 hex per T share. So all that's got to be calculated. So that's why it costs you $500, $600, $700, $800 to unstake, because it's just, yeah, the EVM calculations. The EVM does the calculations and then charges you an arm and a leg because the S-load prices went up even higher than just the other fees, the gas fees. So big problem. And what did Richard say? We got to fix this. Well, since they won't fix it, I'll fix it. We'll make our own chain. We'll make fees cheap. And hey, we'll invite everybody to the party. And that's what he did. He invited everybody to the party and said, I'm going to duplicate all your coins for you. Some of you maybe not because you're assholes, but rest of you, come on over. Come on over. PulseChain's fine. Water's fine. I'm going to bring you over here because it's going to be a bait and switch is what it's really going to be. This is what it's all about, guys. Bait and switch. They're going to come over, realize that Pulse rocks, but what does Pulse rock for? Pulse rocks for a hex. For a hex. So guess what people are going to be doing? They're going to get into hex. They're going to go play with PulseX, and they're going to go play with all the yield farming that's over there and have a good time. But when it comes down to it, like even the hexagons know. I mean, think about what's in the back of your mind. For those of you who are in the know, those of you OGs, those of you hexagons that are out there that really, really, really understand what you're doing. What do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want with your Pulse sacrifice, with your PulseX sacrifice? What do you want to happen? You want to make enough so you can buy some more hex and stake it. Guarantee you that's what's in the back of your mind. How do I get a hold of some more hex, create a better staking ladder, create better stakes, and make more and more and more off of what I've done already and what's about to come? That's what's going on. Yeah, Dorsey, you remember those 60-cent T-shares. Whew, and we talked about it. We talked about, boy, you guys are going to miss these days. You're going to miss these days. Let's see what Brissology has to say. That's a long, I'm going to pull it up and read it. Let's see. What is he saying? Boom. There we go. I think having millions or billions of coins will allow us to pay a fee of many coins. But since the coins are cheap, not a big deal. ETH being 4K is the problem. Yes and no. Yes and no. ETH should have unfucked itself a long time ago. ETH should have realized that there was going to be a scaling issue. I mean, I understand that blockchains are always going to have scaling issues. But you do have to plan a little bit better. Or, you know, let's give ETH the benefit of the doubt. They maybe the technologies didn't exist for them to scale as well as they're trying to scale now, which still hasn't shown us anything. So to give them that, yeah, it's taken time. But Ethereum doesn't get a bad name from me. Ethereum proofed that second concept that we can program crypto to do good shit. Failed as a chain so far, but proved that concept and came up with Solidity and, you know, all of the programming language to program crypto. So hats off to ETH for that. But other than that, it's worthless. And when you've got founders like Mr. Buterin running around saying, oh, a 50-cent fee for a Bitcoin transaction is horrendous. That should never be the case. It should never cost that much for a transaction. Oh, how times have changed. How times have changed. Oh, Buterin's not singing that tune anymore. Not since, you know, his guys are getting $800 transactions out of hexagons. That's my answer to them. Anyway. So remember, PulseChain is here to make Hex better. And it's going to. And it's going to put a lot more people in Hex. Let me see what KD just said. ETH sharding is coming, but what happens with that? We'll see what happens with that solution, I guess. Yeah, we'll see what sharding does. We'll see. A lot of these things were, a lot of these things are yet to be proofed, yet to be proven. We will find out over the next couple of years, though. We are going into the chain wars. This is going to be the chain wars. And that's what I really like about PulseChain, is being on this team. Because if you're going to be in a chain wars, I want to be on this chain. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Let's see. Let's read this question here. Let's see. Am I clueless? So if PulseChain ID a fork of Ethereum, and I thought the SEC says Ethereum is a security. No, the SEC said exactly the opposite, that it's not a security. And that was because of the Hinman standard. You go and read that and it tells you the details as to why they said that about Ethereum. But yeah, and just to let you know that the court allowed that defense, the Hinman standard defense in the SEC versus Ripple case, or XRP. So yeah, you're not clueless. You just got it a little backwards there. But yeah, they said it is not a security. At first they did. And then this Hinman thing came in and okay, well, because of the amount of adoption it's gotten, and some other, but I'm telling you right now, Library just won their case against the SEC. I mean, it was a real good ruling in their favor they just got. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in crypto, going up against the SEC. And it's not even about, going up against them. It's making them define their standards. It's making them define what it is that we're doing. It's making them take a closer look at it versus allowing us to all guess all the time, and that's been the biggest problem and the biggest hindrance to the growth in this space and all of us. I mean, we're all highly invested in the crypto space. And some of us more, with not only our investment and our money and whatnot, but our time and our work and our sweat equity that we've put into this space. I have many products built in the crypto space. I have businesses that function and operate in the crypto space. And I did everything above board. I'm not a rug puller. I'm not a scam artist. I'm not making shit coins. I'm not out there making Ponzi's. I'm not doing hourglass games. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm trying to make things better in the crypto space. I'm trying to put products to market that help. And they're hindering my progress by not defining what it is that they want from the space. That's the biggest problem that we as Hexicans have, is that these authorities won't get off of their dead asses and get to work and do the real work. Versus we know they were all getting their pockets lined by SBF. And I saw it firsthand when I went to Washington, D.C., and nobody would listen to the crazy freaking guy with the bandana on that was talking about DeFi and was shit talking all the CeFi and was telling everybody what was going to happen and was asking them why they were backing those things. Why are you guys taking legislation to Congress that has regulations for centralized exchanges to get licensing and for DeFi to be made illegal? What is that all about? And nobody can answer my questions. They were looking at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears, like I was crazy, like I was on the wrong team. Oh, contraire. Boy, they should have listened to the old pirate, shouldn't they? And that was 6 months before SBF did his shit. before it all came crumbling down. I was out there screaming at the rooftops like, guys, look at what we got going on here. What are you guys talking about? You're looking in the wrong place. That thing's a whole house of cards. You can't try and regulate that and prop that up. What are you thinking? I left there perplexed. I really was. I was perplexed because I thought I was going out there to do some good work. I went out there and basically got slapped around saying, no. We've got other things in the hat that are we're looking at. Not that. No, not that. And all along, we were the only thing that could have saved them. We were the only thing that they should really be looking at. Decentralized exchanges, self-custody of your wallets, self-custody of a staking coin, self-custody of a staking coin. Everybody wants yield. I heard another ad today about somebody send me your crypto for yield. This blah blah blah. It was another Yahoo internet freaking twerp crypto wannabe shilling another exchange for yield. Like none of this happened. Like not everybody just got ripped off. Let's keep shilling this stuff. Let's keep bringing it to market. We're going to find some new suckers, that's for sure. We'll find some new suckers. Let's just keep putting it out there. Keep shilling it, buddy. We'll keep shoving money in your pocket. Fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And here we are, still the best thing in crypto. The best thing in crypto. Well, I'm proud of all the Hexicans out there for towing the line, sticking around, supporting the shows, supporting everybody around here. I appreciate those of you who do that. So I don't want to bash on everybody here because it's not all of you that's doing it. But there are some freaking Hexicans out there, or Exicans, I should call them. We have some Exicans out there acting a fool, like slandering people, like people who have ripped people off are now doing videos saying that they didn't rip people off. The other people, they're the ones that ripped you off. Wasn't me. Wow. The clowns that are out there talking shit about those of us who were here from the beginning, doing the work and haven't left and still streaming, whether you like it or not. And obviously not too many do, because we only have a handful of people that are here. This is like 34 people. That's like the beginning days of Hex when we first started. We had like 30, 40 people watching our stream. And we're back to that again. So that tells me these are the diehards. These are the real Hexicans that are here. And all the Fexicans and Exicans are all out there talking shit and looking at shiny objects and shilling you other stuff. Not here, not a Discourse Syndicate. And I heard our name spoke by some people just recently. And they weren't speaking favorably of us. And all we ever did was support every fucking Hexican out there. Oh, I'm going to start get fried here in a minute. We supported all of you. Every one of you, even you, those of you who were shilling other shit. We gave you a voice. We let you speak. We never shilled your shit, but we let you speak. We let Trevon speak. We let the guys at Hexy speak who robbed everybody. We let everybody speak. We always told everybody, do your own research. All we could ever get behind is Hex. That's the only thing I can get behind. None of this other crap. You guys want to go look at it? Look at it. If they're helping the Hex ecosystem to build on Hex, okay, we'll talk about it a little bit. Hats off to any Hexican that's out there working. But for damn sure, I never told any of you to go buy any of that shit. And for damn sure, I didn't support or get involved in anything with shady people, with people who are doing the wrong thing, with people who are fucking up stuff, with people who are egomaniacs, with people who didn't know how to do business. I didn't do business with those people because I didn't want to be drugged down. because I didn't want this channel to be drugged down, because I didn't want any other Hexicans to get affected by that bullshit. That's why RG3 didn't do shit. Not because I didn't get paid. Not because I wasn't going to get my accolades. I could give a fuck less about any of you guys liking me or giving a shit about me. That's not what this has ever been about. This is about getting the word out and getting better Hexicans than me up here to speak to you guys, to teach you about what this is. So we can get it to more people, get out in front of more people. It's all it's ever been about. And for people to slander me and talk shit about what I've done here, fuck you. Clowns, hucksters, PT fucking Barnums, fuck you. Sorry. Had to get a little bit upset at some people that are out there talking shit. And that's all they're doing is talking shit. They won't come on here on Friday and come fucking bring it to me. Bring it to me on Friday. Let's hear you. Let's hear you. Spread your lies here. And I'll straighten your ass right out. Promise you. Promise you. I will straighten you out. Hold on a second. There's a... Oh, yeah, thanks. I should check that private chat more often. But anyway, that was not directed at any of you here. It wasn't. I just like to get a little bit of that stuff off of my chest every once in a while, because I've kind of had it up to here with being somebody who's always giving, never taking, promise you, never taking a fucking dime, not one fucking dime from a Hexican. Not one. I've paid for everything I've got. I've paid for all my businesses. I've put into them. I paid for a fucking movie to be made. What? Much more than most Hexicans paid to put that movie out. I worked on that movie. I left my family and traveled the world to go film that movie. That's the shit I did. I've been streaming here every fucking night for 3 years. Every Friday night for 3 years. And then 2 times a week, chatting with the captain and anything else I could do. I sit in the Twitter. I help in the spaces. I do whatever I can to answer. Hexicans send me DMs asking me questions about their wallet problems and shit like that. And you know what I do? I answer them. I answer them. Ask them. Ask people out there. Does RG3 just blow you off? Or no, I answer everybody. It may take me a little while sometimes, but I do. I get to everybody. I get back to them and I answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I direct them somewhere or something. So for people to be out there talking shit about what I've done or about my ego, one more time, fuck you. Anyway, yes, I have receipts. I have receipts. Full-blooded Hexican right here. Full-blooded, respectful Hexican too, by the way. Respectful to all those outsiders and to all of our insiders, and especially to the ladies, because it's not my place as a man to be disrespectful. Anyway, where are we at now? Where are we at? Anybody got any questions before I can't believe it. We've gone 45 minutes of me sitting here by myself. I was expecting to just do, like 30 minutes, talk about the news a little bit. But anyway, I'm very, very 0.033095. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it went from, I think it was 0.333 at one point. So it was looking 0.335 maybe. But anyway, yeah. What was I going to say now? I lost my train of thought. Shiver me timbers. Yes, Mick Slammin. Shiver me damn timbers. Can't we all get along? Rodney King voice. The Fexicans. Yeah, we got fake Hexicans and Exicans. Let's call them Exicans because a lot of them have just, they're calling hexagons toxic. Now, I agree. We have some rather zealous hexagons. Yes, we have zealous hexagons. And sometimes they can be a little overbearing, and sometimes they could be a little disrespectful. But that's where we've got to step in. Those of us with a clearer head, maybe. Those of us with a little more experience. Those of us with a little more knowledge. Those of us with a little more constitution. We don't need to treat people like that, especially from within our own family. It's okay to oppose something. It's okay to question something. It's okay to even ban something or remove something if it's become oppressive or hurtful or hateful. Yes, we can do that, but let's do that respectfully. Let's call it out, do it respectfully. There's no reason to be disrespectful to people, even when you got to do that. Anyway, thanks, Hextoshi. Hey, Captain. Let's see. What did Robert Kelleher say? Hey, Captain, it's okay to have part-timers. Part-timers? You mean part-time hexagons? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to have fair-weathered hexagons too, because guess what? Here's the other thing that's cool. Is that it's going to get a lot more crowded in this tent when the bull market does come back. Promise you. Oh, they're going to come out of the woodwork. Oh, I really never left. Or, oh, I really never believed in that other thing. Or I was out of my mind. I'm back. Friends, hugs, kisses. That's what's going to happen. Well, no part-times as forgetting. I was trying to be funny. It was funny. I missed the joke, I guess. Born again Mexican. Johnny, that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a whole new revival. Texture comes back. We're back in a bull. For those of you who don't know who Good Texture was, and we haven't said his name around here in a long time, just because he was like the first Foxican, fake Hexican, Fexican. Now he's a Exican, and he lived in a shed out in the woods. That's what it looked like anyway. He always had his guns up on the wall behind him. And boy, he was a charmer. He charmed a lot of people. He was a numerology guy, and boy, he'd tell you your numerology stuff, and boy, he just got into Hexo fell in love with him. Man, Hexo was in love. Oh, that was his man crush right there. That was a bromance and a half. And then come to find out, he was faking the funk on the funky dunk and tried shilling another coin. And if you go into the archives of Discourse Syndicate, you can actually see him and Richard get into it on Discourse Syndicate. They get into a fight. And yeah, man, he got booted out of the community. Everybody shunned him. And he went crawling off into he was an XRP guy, I think. And then he came over here and tried playing his shenanigans. And some of us saw through it and said, nah, this guy's full of shit. And he ended up leaving the community. He might still be around. Who knows? He might be under a different name or something and just hangs out. That's my guess. But yeah, that was the Good Texture. But if you go back in archives, you can actually see him and Richard get into it. It was really bad because Richard used to hang out. He was part of the Cutthroats group, and used to have Richard in there. And there was, all the people we started out, the Cutthroats is, the people that supported the show that were like close to the show. And there's still only a handful of people that are in there. But Richard was part of it until that happened. And then Richard said, I'm out of here. I'm leaving, because he was talking shit to him in the chat room or whatever. And Richard's like, I can't ban this guy. I can't block him. I can't do anything. So I'm out of here. I don't have any control. So Richard left. So it's kind of a sad day for us, but so be it. So be it. He may be the dumper. No, he never had enough. He never had enough coins. He didn't. That was his problem. And that's what some of these influencers are doing, by the way. There's a few of them out there. They didn't get enough coins, so they're using their platform to either FUD the price down. Not that they can do that much anymore. In the early days, people were doing that. And that's what Good Texture was trying to do, was trying to FUD the price down so that he can buy more, which was kind of what we all thought anyway. But that's just a, what do you call it? Just think that's what was going on. But they used to do that. So there's people out there that could can do crap, say crap, just to make your bags less so they can buy more. Or they're trying to take your money so they can get more. Don't be surprised some of these projects out there aren't using your money, if you're buying these other projects, to buy more hex. Ooh. Where's Nightly? Oh, okay. I got a couple minutes. These are people like I have not spoke about in the 3 years. Like, it's been taboo. I'm going to say something about this ass clown. And it's beautiful. And if you go back, and maybe Bullish will find it, there's a video out that shows him being wrecked. So here's what happened. And I think somebody just mentioned it on a stream the other day, is that this Peter Knightley guy, whatever his name was, I know exactly who his name is, and I know where he's at. But anyway, he was arbitraging. He was getting AA hex, and he was dumping it on the DEX on Uniswap. So he's boom, 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 back and forth. This is happening. And then all of a sudden, it got stopped. Whale came in and stopped it. Whales can do that. Whales, move the markets, move it against you if you're doing something it's seen. So he didn't like that at all. Pissed him off royally. So what did he do? He says on stream, like he gets on his stream and he says, I am going to emergency end stake my 200 million hex. And I am 200 million, guys, 200 million hex. I'm going to unstake it and blah, 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 blah. And he made like $178,000 on it or something stupid, ridiculous, like nothing. And so he dumped it, made our first dip. And then he started shit talking Richard. There was a whole Telegram group doxing Richard that these guys set up. Came after Hexicans. Now, I can't prove it, but during all that time, we were all being very loud against them, trying to keep Hexicans protected against them and what they were doing, and the new token that they were coming out with. Wise token. I can speak about it now. Ain't nobody going to buy that shit, because that shit's been dumped down to zero for a long time. Worthless. Garbage. Thought it was 150 million. It might have been 150 million. I thought it was 200. Maybe it was 150 million. You're right. It was 150 million, which is still a fuck ton. So this guy, when all this was going on, all of a sudden, while this is happening, I've got like the worst trolling going on in my chat room. Like vulgar vulgarity, just like plastering the chat, talking about my kids, talking about my wife, talking about all kinds of things. Just horrendous stuff was going on. And then all of a sudden during that same time, I got death threats. DMs. Somebody sent me all my personal information. Deep personal information. So that was when I was like, okay. So if it's these guys, I need to find out everything I can about them. So of course I did. I learned who whatever his name is, learned who he was, where he lived. Happens to live close by me. What do you know? But yeah, anyway, can't ever prove who it was, but of course they won't act on it. They won't meet up with me face to face and tell me why they're so upset at me and want to do the things that they said they wanted to do to me. But anyway, that was all during that time. And that's the kind of shit that stuff brought. Again, I can't prove that they did it. But it was awful funny that during that time we were battling with them. During the time we were battling with them, that's what was going on. So anyway, but yeah. Is he the SEC? Who knows? He could be. He's the guy in the video. You ever see the guy? He gets up there and he's wrecked, and he's saying that he traded his hex, and then the chart starts going up, and then boom, the rocket ships and everything. And Richard, yeah, that's the video. It's that guy. That's the guy that was in it. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, now that his shit went to zero, he's gone. He's probably investing in hex. He probably bought in at about the 12 to 15 cent range, probably back in. But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with just me, listening to me rant. I know it wasn't a whole lot of without Phamous here, bringing the knowledge. I'm glad you guys stuck around and hung out. Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't miss 2 nights from now. We're going to go do the Friday night hangout, and I'm hoping to get some old OGs coming in there. Looks like I'm getting hailed for a meeting right now. Anyway, got to go to work. Back to work, guys. For you, Hexicans. I'm going back to work for you. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Outro, bullish.